We get this exact message on our Performance Max campaign a few times in a year for one of our clients' accounts. It says to capture upcoming traffic, switch to target ROAS and raise your budget. Every time this message pops up, you just click on the dismiss recommendation and then just completely ignore it. And we keep the PMax campaign completely on maximize conversion value. And why is that? Why do we ignore this Google's recommendation? On the surface, the message looks very logical. More traffic is coming. Google wants us to protect our efficiency, but the context matters more. Firstly, Google is not familiar with our business model. The recommendation is not a tailored strategy. It's just a default recommendation built for the average account. And we have a list of reasons why we choose to ignore these recommendations. And in this video, I'll break down why we ignore this recommendation and how to decide whether target ROAS helps or hurts your account performance, and why you should follow us and stick to maximize conversion value. Hi, I'm Clarice, the ROI Doctor. I help Shopify store owners like you double their store revenue with profitable Google Ads. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you want to check if your Google Ads traffic going to your store pages are the right traffic, you want to download one of my free resources, the Google Ads Pulse Check. It's a 9-point checklist that helps you to determine if you are sending the right traffic to your store pages and if improvements are needed for your store pages or your campaigns itself. You can head over to claricelin.com to download it. The link can be found also in the pinned comment and description below. Without further ado, let's dive into our topic for today. Before I go into the explanation of why we choose to ignore this Google's recommendation of changing our bidding strategy from maximize conversion value to target ROAS, I want to give you a bit of context about this client of ours. What type of business it runs, what's the business model, and those are the reasons why we choose to ignore Google's recommendation. So this client of ours is in this industry, which is a fast-growing industry, and is relatively kind of newish, getting into the maturing state, and the market value is expected to expand right through 2027 to 2028. And at the same time, this business has been shifting its focus. It used to be serving more of small businesses and individuals, and now it's been slowly shifting to target corporate clients. And because this is a relatively kind of new market, and we have not really fully established which search queries consistently drive the highest conversion value. So we are still figuring out how users are searching for this product, what is the language they're using, and it keeps evolving. This uncertainty also affects how people are buying. And one of the things is most of our corporate clients start with a small sample order, or they could get a standard order. And sometimes these orders are small and they want to find out if the products work for them. And then if they do, then they will go on to make a larger purchase. So this could happen in 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time later. So the real conversion value does not actually show up in Google Ads attribution until much later. And the customer lifetime value builds over time. If we get one of these corporate clients, the people are going to come again and again. And for privacy reasons, we actually are not uploading the customer emails or offline sales data into Google, right? So now you've got a bit of idea what the business is doing. Let's go into a bit of context about the campaign. This particular campaign is a PMax campaign running on maximize conversion value. It was previously upgraded from a smart campaign. Since this particular upgrade, the spend has stayed really steady and performance has been good. The ROAS value, which is return on ad spend, does move around quite a bit from month to month. On average, it comes out about 400% return on ad spend. In some months, it could go up to as high as 600%. We also have seasonal demand in this market, so efficiency could look differently at different times of the year. That's the baseline that this campaign is operating on. With all that in mind, let's take a look at what Google is actually optimizing for and why Google's target ROAS recommendation becomes a problem. At a high level, maximize conversion value and target ROAS behave very differently. Maximize conversion value does not try to hit a specific efficiency number. It simply tries to get as much track conversion value as possible within the budget. Target ROAS is different. It tries to protect an average return on ad spend, and if Google thinks spending more could put that average down below the target, then it will slow down the ad spend. So this difference means a lot in this account. And this is a decision where we're actually making. When Google suggests switching to target ROAS for maximized conversion value, we are asking one simple question. Is Google seeing enough of this conversion value before making this recommendation? Can it safely protect an average in this business context? And the answer is no. As I've mentioned, some of our corporate customers place a small order first, and the larger order often comes weeks later. So this larger order is what we are targeting for, and we want to get more of those. But because this large order comes in later, so attribution is not calculated yet. And this sales cycle, it varies from different clients. Sometimes it could take 2 weeks, sometimes it could take 3 weeks. So it's not clearly defined. At the same time, search behavior is evolving. So Google does not yet have a clear picture of which queries consistently lead to the highest value. And because customer data is also intentionally limited, so Google can only work with what it can observe inside this platform. Now, as we layer seasonality on top of this, and this becomes slightly complicated. When demand is high, some valuable traffic does not look efficient right away. If we put in a ROAS target in place, Google can hold back spend during those periods. That means missing opportunities when the real demand is there. During slower periods, short-term dips can also pull the average down. Google could react by tightening the bids. That makes it harder to recover when demand picks up. So the issue is not missing a ROAS target. It's missing the actual timing when we actually put in a ROAS target. By adding a ROAS target here, we'll be forcing Google to make conservative decisions with incomplete information in a market that is naturally fluctuating. And that's the reason why we ignore these recommendations. So what happens if we had accepted this recommendation? We would likely see spend slow down during periods when demand is increasing, and the campaign would become more selective too early. Some high potential traffic would never get tested. On paper, by choosing target ROAS, ROAS might look protected. But conversion value would flatten and growth would slow down quietly. Now, we compare that to ignoring this recommendation and staying on maximized conversion value. We are keeping the system flexible. Google can keep testing as demand shifts. We can capture more of the upside when interest spikes, and efficiency will still matter. We are just not locking the system into a fixed average before the full conversion value shows up. Accepting these recommendations could protect short-term average, but ignoring it could help us protect our long-term growth of the campaign. Custom orders don't just come later. In our case, some of our custom orders also vary a lot in the size order. Some are modest, others are significantly larger. So those early signals becomes noise, and Google cannot reliably predict which early conversion turns into which outcome. Now, this does not mean that target ROAS is bad, that we do not use it. Here's when we would use target ROAS, and it will make sense. That's when Google can see most of the conversion value early, when conversion value is consistent, when the deal sizes do not swing wildly. And of course, if customer behavior is more predictable, it also works better in more mature markets. When search queries are more stable and demand is steady, and where seasonality is minimal or well understood, in those cases, protecting an average target ROAS helps efficiency without cutting growth. So in this case, for our client's account, we are not there yet, and that's why we ignore the recommendation. So how would you then put this into context for yourself and decide in your own account whether you should be doing the same as what we're doing for our clients? Before accepting a target ROAS recommendation, ask yourself these 3 things. First of all, does Google see most of the value early in the buying journey? Second, are order sizes consistent and predictable? Third, is demand relatively stable without big seasonal swings? If the answer to any of this is no, then a hard target ROAS can limit growth. In these cases, maximized conversion value often gives you more room to learn and scale. That's the real takeaway here. Google's recommendations are not wrong. They're just generic. Your job is to analyze it, put that into context for your own business, and then decide whether to accept a target ROAS recommendation from Google. If your cost per conversion has gone up recently and you're not sure why, I've got another video that can help you. It's called Did Your Competitor Raise Their Ad Budget? I'll walk through how to tell whether a drop in conversions is coming from more competitive auctions and what you can do about it. And if you're planning to run more campaigns but you want more clarity onto how each one of them works, I also have a video called the 7 Google campaign types. It breaks down what each campaign is designed to do and when it makes sense to use them. A link is in the top right hand corner of the screen. And if you need help to scale your Google Ads campaigns to get more consistent performance so you have more time to focus on your business, get in touch at claricelyn.com. We help Shopify store owners to leverage on Google Ads to get consistent performance to grow your business. If you have any other questions about when not setting a target ROAS can still work for your PMax, drop them in the comment section below. And if you found this video useful and enjoyed it, remember to give it a like, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos on how to double your Shopify store revenue with profitable Google Ads. I'm Claricelyn, the ROI Doctor, signing off. Thanks for watching. Till the next video, stay profitable.